Okay, shalom everybody. Good morning. Before the day gets away from me, I'm running to and fro, doing so many things, but I'm going to stop. I'm going to read chapter 7 of Secret on the Tarmac as soon as I get my book out. So I hope everybody's been having a wonderful day so far. And let's see. Oh, I have a whole 33 minutes. Good. I cleaned off uh, my phone. Okay. All right, Dak, you gotta hang on. I'm reading chapter 7. Let's see here. I have a bookmark, and I bet you that's chapter 7. Nope, it's not. That's in chapter 11. Why is it in chapter 11? You guys don't want to skip ahead, do you? Uh, just as a reminder, I did put the rest of the chapters that I've read so far on my YouTube channel. And Rain also, Rain, not Rain, WRAIN. She started a Discord server. I think it's called Connections. I'm not sure. And anyway, so she's got we did a book club there, a little chat room called Book Club. So I have some links to my YouTube channels, my YouTube videos on this Secret on the Tarmac on there. And then after I'm done reading this chapter, I think I'm going to give it a break on this book. I'm going to skip to another book and start reading that one. But the juicy details of the meeting are in chapter 7 of Secret on the Tarmac. So let me go ahead and read that. Chapter 7, The Meeting. As the nation was deep in debate involving the I'll try to start over again. As the nation was deep in debate involving the Benghazi investigation, Hillary Clinton's email controversy, and in the middle of a nasty and heated presidential election, one of the hottest locations in the United States was becoming ground zero. It was the location of a meeting the public was never supposed to know about. People have asked me what happened on the tarmac, what was discussed, who was there. I get questions about it today, and even today new details drip my way. In a dramatic, captivating, and electrifying election between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, Clinton's husband, former President Bill Clinton, orchestrated the meeting that would change everything. The secret meeting on the Phoenix tarmac would change public perception for some. It would confirm the reality of a hidden side of the government for others. And it would create concern and conversation for everyone. Here's how it went down. Do you mind I think that's a mockingbird. No, that's a blue jay. God, he's so loud. Don't mind the bird. Here's how it went down. On the afternoon on the afternoon of Monday, June 27th, this is 2016, Bill Clinton met with several business and Hispanic leaders at a Phoenix house. It was not publicized, which was odd. I would later backtrack his visit to find out what the former president did and did not do during this quick summer stop in Arizona. The former president left the fundraising meeting at the Phoenix house way behind schedule. Oddly late. Yes, oddly late. Politicians are rarely early, typically late but not extremely late, which was the situation on this day with the former president. The former president departed the Phoenix home and he headed for the airport in his motorcade. So at some point he had flown into Phoenix, went to the fundraising event at the Phoenix home. So then at this point, after the meeting, he departed the Phoenix home and headed for the airport in his motorcade. Make sure you get all these details right? Who did what, where, when, with who. They wove through the streets and highways until they arrived at a private terminal on the west side of the airport. This terminal is not connected to any public terminal. It's gated, often patrolled, littered with surveillance cameras, and typically used for high-profile visitors. And this is Phoenix we're talking about, so, you can imagine. This kind of visit isn't a big deal for Phoenix, considering the Valley, as it's called, welcomes many high-profile visitors, from presidents to CEOs to movie stars and well-known athletes. On this hot day, the motorcade arrived roughly an hour late to the secure space. The metal gates leading on the tarmac closed once the former president and his entourage passed through. A police officer was in position at the gate, as was typical for a high-profile arrival or departure. And that it makes me wonder, it's like, what were they told? Were they manning the gate for Lynch? Or for Clinton? Were they aware that Clinton was... I don't know. Federal agents were there as well, including United States Secret Service and FBI personnel. The area represented a secure spot on the airport grounds where trust was limited to the men and women with badges. The scene was very secure. Nothing was supposed to get in or out. No unwanted guests, no unnecessary eyeballs, and of course no information. A couple federal agents knew what was about to happen. The agents and local cops had the former president in place. The scene was secure and locked down, and the former president paused. On this June day, it was about 107 degrees outside, with everyone seemingly in their assigned places. Only 107? Okay. Police officers stood in their right spots, some on their motorcycles and others inside the patrol cars. The federal agents had their heads on a swivel. They were all cool and calm on the toasty tarmac. Not everyone was looped in on the meeting about to take place. Some law enforcement officers knew what was about to happen. Others had no idea what was about to unfold. I later learned top federal agents in D.C. were more upset, I found out, rather than concerned the actual meeting, and if it were proper to allow I read that wrong, and if it were proper to allow the meeting to occur. Clinton's private plane was running. It was cool. Okay, so remember that. He wasn't in the plane. He was in his limousine, motorcade thing. He was sitting in the car. Clinton's private plane was running. It was cool inside the cabin with cold beverages waiting. But he remained in his vehicle for a moment. Yeah, just gotta let those ice cubes melt and, the condensation build up on the outside of the glass, right? The former president was notified that Loretta Lynch's plane was slowly coming to a stop as it rolled near his private plane. Bill Clinton is not surprised. Instead, he notified an aide. Okay, we're going to wait just a minute. His tone was not that of an excited person with a high pitch in their voice, aiming to surprise a friend. It was more of a, good, we're on time to meet her, type of a tone. That's my description. The former president did not say those words, to my knowledge. It was a direct response, as if he expected it, which he did. His plan was in action, and those in the loop knew to execute the plan and to make sure nobody got in the former president's way. The plan was underway. The vehicles were running. Bill Clinton's SUV, I thought it was a limousine, SUV. The motorcycles and cars with flashing lights were all sitting and waiting. I was told it was an odd moment. Apparently some agents thought Bill Clinton was on the phone in his vehicle, or that they were waiting on something involving his aircraft. He didn't stay in his vehicle long, just the right amount of time. Those who were kept in the dark had no idea their role in the secret plan was done. They got Bill Clinton where he needed to be, which was on his own schedule and plan to be late. In this scenario, to be late was to be on time. What made things a bit more unusual was the Attorney General's escort team was waiting on the tarmac as well. Two teams with high-profile executives sitting with their lights flashing and air conditioning running on a Phoenix tarmac as the former President of the United States and his Secret Service agents waited for a private jet to unload. As I reflected on this moment, I thought deeply about his situation. Presidents and former presidents wait for nobody. We all wait for them. They make the agenda. That's a fact every journalist knows. Journalists know that if they cover a politician, they don't expect them to be on time. They just make sure you're in place on time and expect you to wait. They're never late, they're never early. They set their own time and everyone else adjusts to their needs. I've seen it time and time again while covering presidential visits. Everyone in the media knows a current president or former president decides whatever the hell they want. In this case, former President Clinton was calling the shots and everyone else fell into place, doing exactly as he instructed. Even when he didn't verbally make a request, his gestures led others to react as he wanted. Keep in mind, former President Clinton's plane was there, ready to go, and sat idle, just as the teams that were escorting the high-profile visitors in and out of Phoenix did in the middle of summer in the desert. As the heat rippled off the tarmac in waves, the Attorney General's plane had landed. The white twin-engine jet had turned south into the executive terminal area of the west of the public gates. Attorney General Loretta Lynch had no idea what was waiting. She was not alerted as her plane came to a stop that the former president's plane was even nearby. The Attorney General and her team of assistants saw it as another stop on her community policing tour. For Loretta Lynch, the landing was nothing out of the ordinary. Loretta Lynch's plane came to a stop, the air stairs dropped down to the hot tarmac, and the secret meeting was about to begin. I was told most of the trusted members of her team didn't know about the meeting. However, some of her security detail were in the know. Those who needed to be aware of the plan were informed. Everyone else was left out in the heat. After the story broke, I was told by multiple sources the scene played out as a planned meeting from Bill Clinton and a surprise encounter for Loretta Lynch. While Loretta Lynch may not have known about the meeting ahead of time, it didn't mean she was completely honest about the meeting when quizzed about it by journalists and the Office of the Inspector General. The contradictions that would later be revealed and the deceit definitely hit the Richter scale. A seismic shift in public opinion was about to take place. The next steps made by Bill Clinton impacted the presidential election and raised many questions about why he felt the need to step on the Attorney General's plane. The former president exited the motorcade and walked with his chief of staff in the direction of his own plane. Okay, let me read that again. Okay, so far up to this point, he's just sitting, waiting, and then finally Loretta Lynch's plane taxis to where it's about to take off. And finally Bill Clinton gets out of his SUV, I guess. The former president exited the motorcade and walked with his chief of staff in the direction of his own plane. By now, Loretta Lynch's plane had come to a stop just yards away to the northeast of Bill Clinton's plane. While Bill Clinton appeared to walk to his plane, he stopped, leaned in toward his chief of staff, and without word to the local-based Secret Service agents assigned to the motorcade, Bill Clinton walked to Loretta Lynch's plane. As he walked toward the plane, the former president was filled with arrogance, confidence, and determination, and glided with ease. A Secret Service agent and a local police officer raced in front of Bill Clinton to alert the FBI agents and other local police officers assigned to Loretta Lynch. The Secret Service agent quickly told the first FBI agent in view that President Clinton wanted a word with Attorney General Lynch. Bill Clinton is known in some law enforcement circles for being very chatty and quick to thank law enforcement. Not this time. Some of the FBI agents had no idea where the Phoenix area based Secret Service agents, FBI agents, and local officers left out of the loop of Bill Clinton's plan to meet? My sources said yes. Obviously, the locals didn't have a Clinton-Lynch meeting on their itinerary for the Dignitary Protection Plan. Clinton glided past everyone, thinking the next 20 minutes would be a secret the world would never hear about. Prior to Bill Clinton's approach, the winding sound of the engines slowly echoed off the tarmac as the door on the government-owned private jet opened. Some of Loretta Lynch's assistants got off the plane, including a staff photographer who was traveling with the Attorney General's team. I'm going to stop right there. This chapter is actually longer than I remembered, so I'm only going to read about half of it. And I see I'm at almost 20 minutes here. Leave you off at the cliffhanger. He's about to get on Loretta Lynch's plane. How exciting. So I'm going to stop right here. And I'm going to go get some barbecue on. The rain yesterday kind of ruined my plan. Where's the camera? Oh, it's there. Rain yesterday ruined my barbecue plans, so I'm going to try again today. I have a whole bag of corn waiting for me. Corn on the cob. Oh my gosh. My fridge is full. It's so full. I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, alright. Check you later. I'll read the rest of chapter 7 hopefully tomorrow. Alright, shalom.